Welcome to today's Explainer. We hear about AI literally all the time, right? But honestly, we rarely look under the hood to see the actual fuel that powers the whole shebang. So today, we're going to demystify something completely foundational, the invisible mechanics of where artificial intelligence actually gets its knowledge. Think about your daily life for a second. Have you ever wondered how ChatGPT can just instantly answer your highly specific questions? Or how Netflix seems to know exactly which movie you want to watch on a Friday night, almost before you even know it yourself? What about YouTube queuing up that perfect next explainer, or Google Translate flawlessly converting your words? It can feel like absolute magic. It feels like these systems just inherently know the answers. But spoiler alert, there's zero magic involved. The punchy, simple truth is this: AI learns from data. It doesn't just generate intelligence out of thin air, and it certainly doesn't magically know everything on its own. Every single insight, every recommendation, every generated sentence, it all comes from somewhere. But that sets up a massive central question for us. Does AI just create this data by itself, or does someone actually feed it to the machine? Like, where exactly does all this data come from? Well, to answer that, we're going to look at four key areas today. Number one, tapping the digital web. Two, tracking your digital footprint. Three, sensing the physical world. And finally, putting it all together. Let's jump in. Okay, section one, tapping the digital web. So, back-end data collection basically breaks down into four massive pillars. First up, databases. Almost every company stores historical business data. Think of Amazon logging millions and millions of customer orders just to predict future behavior. Next, APIs, which we're going to expand on in just a sec. Third is web scraping. Sometimes data just isn't neatly packaged for us, so developers use scripts to automatically read websites and extract things like current prices or news articles. Fun fact here, some models literally scrape billions of words a day just to learn how we type. And finally, public datasets. Platforms like Kaggle or Hugging Face provide these massive open-source raw materials that researchers use to build foundational models. Building on that second pillar, APIs, or application programming interfaces, to be formal, these brilliantly illustrate how modern apps actually talk to each other. Suppose you're building a weather app. Instead of, going out and collecting global weather data manually, which would be impossible, you simply call an API to seamlessly fetch live data from another application. Whether it's Google Maps, Twitter, or OpenAI, this is hands down one of the most common and powerful data collection methods out there today. Moving right along to section two, tracking your digital footprint. Here's where it gets a bit personal. Every single click you make generates incredibly valuable data. Every explainer you watch, every search you type, your likes, your comments, your purchases, it all leaves a digital trail. Get this, AI even tracks the time you spend lingering on a specific web page. Yeah, even if you don't click anything at all, your hesitation is data. When you watch a series of explainers, the system learns your specific interests and starts recommending similar content. That's AI learning directly from your behavior in real time. And it's not just passive tracking either. When you proactively fill out Google Forms, do customer satisfaction surveys, or leave product ratings and reviews, you are explicitly handing AI the exact feedback it needs to understand your preferences and refine its future recommendations. Let's step away from the screen for section three, sensing the physical world. Picture your morning routine for a second. You wake up, you strap on your smartwatch, and you head out for a run. This beautifully illustrates how the Internet of Things, or IoT, acts as a massive sensory network for AI. In step one, your smartwatch is busy recording your daily steps, your real-time heart rate, and even the sleep patterns you had the night before. Then, in step two, this IoT device transmits all that continuous data. And finally, in step three, the AI analyzes those specific biological patterns to provide you with totally customized health insights. From smart homes to GPS devices and industrial sensors, IoT devices are literally turning the physical world into measurable data. But AI doesn't just feel movement, right? It sees and it hears. Images, videos, and audio literally act as the eyes and ears of AI. On the visual side, AI ingests massive data sets. We're talking medical x-rays to diagnose diseases, or CCTV and self-driving car cameras for object detection. And on the auditory side, well, voice assistants like Siri and Alexa are constantly learning from audio recordings, allowing speech recognition to truly understand human intent. Even call centers use this audio data to analyze customer conversations and improve their service quality. All right, let's bring it all home in section four, putting it all together. Sometimes gathering data from the real world is just incredibly expensive, highly limited in scope, or honestly, simply too sensitive when it comes to privacy. That is where this totally fascinating concept comes in: synthetic data. This is artificially created data that closely resembles real world data. It's essentially a company faking its own data, but doing so with immense, rigorous mathematical precision. Notice the stark contrast here. Real data has some really heavy limitations, but synthetic data, it saves a ton of time, it's super cost-effective, scalable, and most importantly, it improves safety. Consider self-driving car companies for a second. Instead of spending billions of dollars and risking actual human lives to collect millions of hours of real driving footage in every possible condition, they just simulate it. They generate synthetic data of roads, vehicles, traffic signals, and severe weather conditions. This actually allows the AI to learn how to drive in a total blizzard without a real car ever having to touch a slippery, dangerous road. How cool is that? So, how does a modern AI powerhouse actually stack all these methods together? Well, let's bring it back to our original question about Netflix. This right here is what we call the Netflix synthesis. Netflix doesn't just rely on one single data stream, they stack them like a giant puzzle. First, they track your user activity, your watch and search history. Then they layer on direct ratings and user feedback, basically surveying your active preferences. Next, they pull device information via APIs or backend logs, so they know exactly if you're watching on a tiny phone screen or a massive 4K TV. And finally, they cross-reference all of this with their own massive internal database of movies. AI combines all of this disparate information to recommend exactly what you are most likely to enjoy. And the kicker? The more you watch, the more fresh data is collected, and the smarter those recommendations become over time. All of this convergence brings us to the absolute core takeaway of today's explainer. We've seen that AI learns from databases, APIs, IoT, you name it. But you absolutely must remember this golden rule. The quality of an AI model depends on the quality of its data. Without good, reliable data flowing through these collection methods, even the most advanced, cutting-edge AI model on the planet cannot produce reliable results. You are an active participant in this incredible data ecosystem. Every single click, every stream, every step you take with your smartwatch is literally fueling the systems of tomorrow. So I just have to ask you, what data are you feeding the AI right now? Think about that the next time you browse the web or ask your phone a quick question. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.